fine. Today I'll be studying a new topic that is coordinate geometry. In coordinate geometry, we'll be reading three different topics, and that is angle between two lines, pair of straight lines, and circle. And the very first topic for class 10 is angle between two lines. Since there are only 20 students in this class, in this session, so I'll be waiting for others to start the session. Before that, let me discuss few things with you. Okay, maybe your result will be published next week of your first online examination, maybe around Saturday or on Wednesday. I think some formal notice will be there for you regarding your result of the online examination. Okay. So if you have any questions regarding the if you have any questions that were asked in your online examination and you are still confused, then you can ask. Now I'll start the topic, that is angle between the two lines. Before that, let me explain a few things for you. I think most of you are familiar with the things before your friends, most of your friends in this session, let me explain a few things here. As only 20 to 25 students are here, so let me explain a few things that you need to know before entering into the topic coordinate geometry. Okay, I have sent the link in the chat group also, so that your friend can join directly here. Okay. Okay, so I think you are familiar with the concept of coordinates, axes. Okay, suppose let me revise what x-axis is. I think most of you are familiar with these things, terms like y-axis. Okay, and these two things are combinedly called axes. Please don't try, just try to revise the concept here. I think you must be familiar with the concept origin, okay, quadrants, and then different coordinates having different types of values, different components like positive, negative, zero, and then you need to be familiar with the concepts like intercept. Okay, there are two types of intercept. They are x-intercept and y-intercept. What actually they are, you need to be familiar with all these terms. Y-intercept. Okay, so you need to be aware with the concept of slope. Later we'll discuss these things like midpoint. I'll give the note. I'll discuss in detail about these things: midpoint, centroid. Okay, you need to be aware with the fact of section formula, and then you need to be able to distinguish what is internal division, external division. These all things that you have read in class 8 and class 9. You need to be well equipped with the knowledge of these things. So section formula, internal division, external division. Okay, distance formula. Sometimes you need this distance formula. There are two types of distance formula. Okay, you can just note these things roughly, so that you will be, if you don't know, then just revise these things. We'll not go in detail about these things, though I'll revise the things that are needed in class 10, that are mostly used in class 10. I'll revise it in detail. But if it is not used vehemently in class 10, I'll not go in detail about those things. So distance formula, there are two types of distance formula. One is for distance between 2 points, distance between 2 points, and the other will be a distance between point and line. Distance between point and line. Okay, I think you are confused here. Distance between point and line is, suppose there is one point a x1 comma y1, and there is the equation, or there is a line ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Actually, this is perpendicular distance between point and line. Okay, perpendicular distance between point and line. So the distance between these two, this point and this line is given as, and distance d is equals to ax1 plus by1 plus c whole upon root over a square plus b square. These are the things that you need to know. There are a lot of things that you need to know here. I'll revise them when they are required also. Okay. So let me explain these things again. Suppose there is a two-dimensional plane, suppose 2D plane, suppose there is a copy. You can just take a concept of plane or 2D from a copy, because your copy has length and breadth. Just a sheet of paper, if you see just a sheet of paper, then it has just length and breadth, but not the height. Okay, those things that have only the length and breadth and it does not include height, then they can be discussed under the topic two dimension. Okay, so all the things that are in 2 dimension can be divided into 4 different parts by x-axis and y-axis. X-axis is any imaginary horizontal line that goes infinitely. These arrows indicate that it goes infinitely towards left and towards right. So similarly, y-axis is the imaginary vertical line. X-axis is the imaginary horizontal line. Okay, they are perpendicular to each other, and this is origin. The point at which the x-axis and y-axis intersect, it's called the origin. Okay, so these 4 different parts are the quadrants. Okay, these are the quadrants. These 4 different parts are the quadrants. Basically, this is the first quadrant. You cannot say any random quadrant is first quadrant, but there is some convention. See here, the concept, the language of the mathematics is universal. Okay, if you say first quadrant in Nepal for this quadrant, for this particular quadrant, it must be first quadrant in America also. Okay, so there is a convention. So we will use this throughout our mathematics, throughout your life. And whenever you read mathematics, the first quadrant will be the same quadrant in 2 dimensions. First quadrant, second quadrant, this one is third quadrant, and this one is the fourth quadrant. Okay, so the next one, coordinates. Well, since these x-axis and y-axis, these are just the imaginary distribution of the 2-dimensional plane, they will contain a lot of points here. Okay, so let me explain why these points are necessary. Suppose in some physical geography, we can name certain place to locate it. Okay, but if there is no any such physical geography, that is not distinct from one place to another. So what you need to do is, you cannot, since you cannot find the distinctive feature of each and every point, okay, you have to locate it by coordinates. Okay, suppose let me explain it in Nepali also, so that it will be clear for you. Suppose काठमाडौँको कुनै ठाउँलाई हामीले बानेश्वर भने, सामाखुसी भने, किन केही फरक ठाउँ, त्यहाँ चाहिँ लोकेसनमा केही डिस्टिंक्ट फिचरहरू छ हैन, बाटोघाटोहरू फरक होला, त्यहाँ भएको सुविधाहरू फरक होला. बानेश्वर भन्दा एउटा पर्टिकुलर ठाउँको चाहिँ विल गेट अ इमेज. सामाखुसी भन्दा विल गेट अ इमेज अफ पर्टिकुलर प्लेस. बट इफ यु गो टु द ओसन, you will see water and water everywhere. Okay, there is no such distinct places. But if you have to go to certain part of the ocean, certain part of ocean, जानु पर्यो त्यहाँ. Okay, suppose there is a ship coming towards you and you need to go to that place. दो अलि नजिकै छ भन्दा तिमीले चाहिँ हेरेर ओ यहाँनिर शिप रहेछ भनेर जान सक्छौ. But you are going from a long distance, then how will you locate that actual position? Okay, अब त्यो त थाहा छैन, सबै जता हेरे पानी नै पानी छ. So the concept of coordinate must be there. Okay, actually, I think you have read the concept of longitude and latitude, latitude. Okay, so this longitude and latitude, this is also the advanced form of the coordinates. Certain longitude or latitude को position मा त्यो position तिमी नेपालबाट हेरे पनि अमेरिकाबाट हेरे पनि त्यो position मा त्यही नै हुन्छ. ओके, सर्टेन प्लेस नै छ. जस्तो काठमाडौँको सर्टेन लङ्गिट्युड र ल्याटिट्युड छ. ओके, सर्टेन पिन पोइन्ट लोकेसनमा पुग्न सकिन्छ विथ सर्टेन longitude and latitude. Similarly, 1,2 or 0,0 will be always the origin. 0,0 will always be the origin. 1,2 will be a point that is 1 towards x-axis and 2 towards y-axis. So it will be 1,2 at certain point from origin. Okay, so the concept of coordinate is important. I think you know it. So it can be negative, it can be positive according to the quadrants. A different quadrant ma different value runs. So for example, in first quadrant it will be always positive, both coordinates will be positive. In second quadrant it will be negative and positive. Why, do you know or not? So let me explain why it is positive and negative. This is x-axis, so x prime. It means this is positive x-axis, this is negative x-axis. This is y-axis, so y prime. This is positive y-axis, this is negative y-axis. Let me suppose this is positive and this is negative. So let's see the common region here. X is positive, the first component is x, so x is positive. Y is also positive here. See the common region. X prime y. So x is negative here, y is positive. In the third one, x is negative and y is also negative. See here, it is negative, so negative and negative. In the fourth one, it is positive and it was negative. Okay, so I think you are well aware with this fact. Okay, so I'll discuss these things later when necessary. Let's go to our topic, angle between the two lines. Let's revise a few concepts before directly going with the topic that we need to discuss here in class 10. Just a minute. Okay, so I'm almost 52 students are there. I request everyone to be regularly present on the online classes, because every online class will supplement to the next class that you see or that you read. Okay, every class is dependent on each other. If the concept that you will read today will supplement the class that you read tomorrow. The concept that you read some former day will develop some other concept in the other day. So please be regular, don't miss any class. Okay, suppose this is any straight line AB. Okay, I'm going to the topic. I'm trying to revise the concept that is needed here. This is a straight line AB, and this is x-axis and y-axis. X-axis and y-axis. Okay, they are intersected at origin. Let us suppose this is origin. You can draw the figure in the copy by writing basic concept revision at the top. Suppose there is a straight line which makes an angle theta. This angle of inclination, is theta here. Okay, this angle of inclination is theta. Then the slope of the line is given as tan theta. Okay, slope of a straight line whose angle of inclination is theta is given as slope m is equals to tan theta. As I told you earlier, the slope of line is also called gradient of straight line. Okay, or simply you can say gradient also. Just draw this figure and write the formula. This is needed. This will be needed in your whole exercise while we discuss things. This is y prime, x prime. This is a straight line AB, and it makes an angle of theta with the positive x-axis. Okay, And be careful that whenever you call angle of inclination, it must be always with the positive x-axis. It must be always with the positive x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction. If you just say it is angle, then it's not always fixed that it must be with the positive x-axis. But if you pinpoint that it is angle of inclination, then it must be with the positive x-axis. The angle must be made with the positive x-axis, and it must be in the anti-clockwise direction. The direction must be anti-clockwise here. Here, घडी यतातिर घुम्छ हैन, घडीको अपोजिट यता हुन्छ. So it is anti-clockwise. It is in the anti-clockwise direction. एंगल हामी यहाँको लिइराखेन नि, हेर त यो लिएन नि, यो एक्स एक्सिसबाट घडीतिर घुमेको डिरेक्सनमा लिइराखेको छैन कि हामीले. यो एंगल पनि लिन सक्दैन हैन, यसलाई एंगल अफ इन्क्लाइनेसन भनिदैन. ओके, यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले एंगल अफ इन्क्लाइनेसन भन्छौँ. यसरी नै डिफाइन गरेको छ. एंगल अफ इन्क्लाइनेसनको डेफिनेसन के हो भने एंगल मेड बाइ ए स्ट्रेट लाइन with positive x-axis. Positive x-axis नै हेर त यहाँ यतापट्टि लेखेन नि, नेगेटिभ x-axis साइडमा बनाएर ल्याछ र छैन. ओके, सो एंगल मेड बाइ ए स्ट्रेट लाइन with positive x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction, यहाँ anti-clockwise मा लिइराखेको छ, तलपट्टि ल्याएको छैन. So try to understand the basic things. So slope of line is given as tan theta. I hope you copied this. Let's go to the next one. Okay, these are the two points. These are the two coordinates. First coordinate is a x1 y1 and the second coordinate is b x2 y2. We will be using this formula extremely. We will use this formula a lot. Okay, there will be a plethora of questions where you will use this formula. Slope of straight line which joins the straight line. Slope of straight line which join the coordinates. Which join the coordinates. Slope of straight line which join the coordinates a x1 comma y1 and b x2 comma y2 is given as m is equals to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Please write this formula also. There is any straight line, but a straight line छ, त्यो straight line ले दुईटा कोअर्डिनेटलाई जोड्छ, सपोज जोड्छ. Okay, suppose this is x prime and y prime. This is x axis and y axis. This one is origin. Suppose there are two coordinates a x1 comma y1 and b x2 comma y2. Okay, so the slope of this line, slope भनेको कति झुकेको छ, I'll illustrate you later about the concept of slope. I'll use the concept of GeoGebra to illustrate what actually slope is. Okay, suppose कुनै एउटा एकदम भिरालो जमिन देख्यो भने चाहिँ it has more slope के, slope एकदम धेरै छ यसको भने. Okay, अलि सम्म खालको जमिन देख्यो भने चाहिँ it has less slope. We can say that it has less slope. अब एकदम स्टिफ खालको बनायो भने रे एउटा पहाड छ, suppose this is any mountain here, any hillside, it has very steep slope here. Okay, but if you choose some lowland, it has very less slope. Okay, I'll talk about positive slope, negative slope, what actually this means in some other slide. But actually you need to know these things in class 8 and class 9, though I'll be discussing so that you will be clear with the concept. Okay, I'll discuss it in later slides, some other slides. So please write the formula. Slope of the straight line which joins the coordinates a x1 y1 and b x2 y2 is given as y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Let's go to the next one. Okay, let's solve some problem. Find the slope of the line joining the points 4, 3 and 6, minus 3. Can anyone solve this question? Please find the slope. Write this question and find the slope. Solution. We are going to find the slope of these 2 points. First point is 4, 3. Since the name of this coordinate is not given actually, I am supposing it is a 4, 3, and the second point is b 6, minus 3. Okay, so let's find what will be the slope of this point. Let 4, 3 is equals to x1, y1, and 6, minus 3 is equals to x2, y2. Please write along with me. Slope of the line slope of the line. Actually, this is straight line. Okay, slope of the straight line. Slope of the straight line is equals to, or m is equals to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay, so let's replace the values. What is the value of y2? It is minus 3. The value of y1 is 3. Value of x2 is 6, and the value of y2 is, x1 is 4. So replace the values. It will be minus 6 divided by 2, that is equals to minus 3. Hope you understand. This is the value of y2 here. Okay, the second coordinate is y2. The first coordinate is x2. Similarly, in the first one, the second component is y1 and the first component is x1. Please don't be confused with these things. So the slope or the gradient of this line is minus 3. Please copy it first. Have you copied it or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have copied, so let's go to the next slide. There is one more formula of slope that you need to know, and that is very important. Okay, there is a straight line whose equation is given in the form ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. Okay, the slope is, the equation is ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. So what is the slope of this line? Suppose, what you need to be clear with this concept is, this is the general equation of first degree. Okay, general equation of first degree means the equation in which the degree of x and y are 1. Degree of x and y are 1. And if you arrange them in some standard form, the value of x will be at first, the value of y will be at second, and the value of constant will be at last, and the 0 will be on the other side. So you can express any equation in this format. Suppose I have one equation, 2x is equals to 3y plus 5. If I need to arrange this in this format, then it will be 2x minus 3y minus 5 equals to 0. Okay, so if I have to use the formula to find the slope of the line, which is in this format, or if you are going to use the next formula that we are going to discuss, then always express this equation, always express the equation in this format. Okay, this format. At first you need to write x and then y and then constant. त्यसरी यो फर्मुला अबको फर्मुला युज गर्नु पर्यो भने चाहिँ जहिले पनि सुरुमा x राख्ने, त्यसपछि y राख्ने, अनि कन्स्ट्यान्ट राख्ने, अनि बल्ल त्यो फर्मुला युज गर्ने. Okay, so write the formula. Slope of straight line whose equation is ax plus by plus c is equals to 0 is given as slope m is equals to minus coefficient of x, that is a in particular here. The coefficient of x is a and the coefficient of y is b, or simply you can write minus a upon b. Okay, remember this formula also. Just write it first. Okay, have you written it? Okay, this equation may be PQ or AB, CD. Since I have used A and B here, I have named this equation as P and Q. It's not always necessary that the straight line must be named as PQ. It can be named with any variables. Okay. So let me explain why slope is denoted by m. Okay, normally slope भनेको यहाँ त यस हुनु पर्थ्यो जस्तो लाग्छ हैन. So there is no any such connection which can tell you that yum always represents yum must be used for slope. त्यस्तो केही पनि कनेक्सन छ जस्तो त मलाई लाग्दैन. बट एकजना म्याथमेटिसियनले मैले यो रिसर्च गरेको थिएँ यसको बारेमा हेरेको थिएँ मैले खोजेको थिएँ. एकजना म्याथमेटिसियन जोन कन्वे भन्ने म्याथमेटिसियनले चाहिँ स्लोप भनेको चाहिँ मोडुलस अफ स्लोप हो एक्चुअली भन्नुभएको छ. त्यसलाई त्यसरी पनि भनेको छ यम भने स्लोपले रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्ने भनेर. अर्को एउटा फ्रेन्च, देयर आर लट अफ फ्रेन्च म्याथमेटिसियन हु वर्कड इन अर्ली स्टेजेस अफ डेभलपमेन्ट अफ म्याथमेटिक्स. एउटा फ्रेन्च म्याथमेटिसियन फ्रेन्च म्याथमेटिसियन डिस्कार्टेस भन्ने चाहिँ अझ बढी, रेने डिस्कार्टेस भन्ने चाहिँ अझ बढी यो कोर्डिनेट जियोमेट्रीमा हि कन्ट्रिब्युटेड. एन्ड फ्रेन्च वर्ड समथिङ मोन्टर, आई थिङ्क मोन्टर, फ्रेन्च वर्ड मोन्टर, इट मिन्स टु क्लाइम. ओके, टु क्लाइम. अनि यो मोन्टर भन्ने वर्डबाट यम आयो भन्ने नि कन्सेप्ट रहेछ. सो जस्ट नट गेट कन्फ्युज हियर. कहिले काहीँ लाग्छ नि होइन स्लोपको ठाउँमा चाहिँ किन यम भयो होला, यस किन भएन होला. सो डोन्ट गेट कन्फ्युज विथ दिस थिङ्स. यो यम भन्ने वर्ड चाहिँ मोन्टर भन्ने फ्रेन्च वर्डबाट चाहिँ आएको रहेछ. ओके, टु क्लाइम. स्लोप पनि यस्तै कुराहरूमा धेरै आउँछ नि होइन, कस्तो स्लोप छ यसको, अलि बढी होराइजन्टल छ कि अलि बढी भर्टिकल छ कि. सो इट कम्स फ्रम द्याट कन्सेप्ट. So don't get confused with these things. Okay, find the slope of the line having equation 12x minus 3y is equals to 7. So let's find the slope of this line. This straight line is given here. Okay, and be careful that this equation is in first degree. Degree 1 मा भएको equation ले जहिले पनि straight line जनाउँछ. Okay, always it will represent the equation of straight line. I'll show you later in GeoGebra also. If it has degree 2, degree 3, then it will be a bit different lines, okay, different curves or any different geometrical figures. So since it is in the degree 1, it always represents the straight line. Find the slope of the line having equation 12x minus 3y is equals to 7. So let's find the slope of this line. Given equation is, these are all the things that we are doing the revision here. Actually, these things must be cleared in class 9. Given equation is 12x minus 3y is equals to 7. Okay, so let's arrange it in the general form. At first x and then y and then constant is equals to 0. Okay, so this is equation number 1. Or you can simply label it any other alphabet, a, asterisk, any sign. Let me suppose a 1. This equation is 12x minus 3y is equals to 7. So to find slope m is equals to, in this format, the slope is minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. If you are confused with the term coefficient, then it is simply the number that is in front of the variable. Okay, that is the product of the variable. So minus 12 divided by, don't forget to include the sign also. Okay, minus 12 divided by minus 3. This minus is of the formula. Okay, this minus is of the formula. Coefficient of x is 12, coefficient of y is minus 3. So 12 divided by minus 3, it is minus and minus will be cancelled. 12 by 3 will be equals to 4. Therefore, the slope of this line is 4. Okay, sometimes it may be asked is find the gradient. At that time also you need to be aware that gradient is the same term for slope. Okay, 12 divided by 3 is 4. Therefore, the slope of this line is 4. Or simply you can write here coefficient of minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y. This can be replaced as minus a upon b. If you are familiar with these terms, then you can use this formula minus a upon b. So let's do the next one. Okay, just try to find the slope of this line. Find the slope of the line having equation y plus root 3x is equals to 4. Please tell me what is the slope of this line. Just find the slope of this line.
Minus root 3 divided by 1.
Yeah, minus root 3 divided by 1, or simply you can say minus root 3. Yeah. Okay, you just find it later. Just copy the question and find it in your copy. So don't get confused if it is in the format of y at first and then x. It is your duty to rearrange them. Okay, at first rearrange them in the format of x at first and then y and then constant. Okay, you need to rearrange them at first. So let's go to the next one. Okay, try to find the slope of this line. Find the slope of the line having equation x by 3 minus y by 2 is equals to 1. Please try to find the slope of this line. X by 3 minus y upon 2 is equals to 1. Please try to find it. Though in class 10, the question will not directly ask to find the slope, but the concept of this slope will be used in some other question. So you need to know what actually the slope is or how to find the
Sir,
slope of the
2
line.
divided by 3.
2 divided by 3. Yeah, I think so.
Yes, sir, 2 divided by 3.
So let's check whether it is 2 divided by 3 or not. Okay, solution. The given equation is, please write, the given equation is x divided by 3 minus y divided by 2 is equals to 1. So at first you can simplify it, though you can solve it without simplifying also, since x and y are on the same side. At first I'll simplify it and I'll guide you how to solve it without simplifying also. Okay, so we can take the LCM. I'm taking the LCM at first. I'm simplifying at first, though you can do it without taking the LCM also. So 2x minus 3y is equals to 1. Okay, I hope you understand this, taking LCM. 2x minus 3y is equals to 6. Okay, 2x minus 3y minus 6 is equals to 0. 2x minus 3y minus 6 equals to 0. Now you can simply find it in the slope. Slope m is equals to minus a upon b, that is minus 2 upon minus 3. Minus and minus will be cancelled, so it will be 2 upon 3. So this is one way of solving or to find the slope if the numbers are in the fraction. You can do it without simplifying it, without taking the LCM also. So how to find it without taking LCM? Without taking LCM.
Sir, 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 2.
Exactly. So let's find it slope. Let's find the slope. Since x and y are on the same side, it doesn't matter if the constant is on the other side, but you can arrange it on the left side also. So slope m is equals to minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. So it will be minus coefficient of x is 1 by 3. Okay, and the coefficient of y is minus 1 by 2, and minus will be cancelled. So 1 by 3 and 1 by 2, this is the division of a fraction. So what you need to do is you need to reciprocal the terms. So it will be 1 by 3 times 2 by 1, or it is equals to 2 by 3. Okay, this 2 will be directly multiplied with 1 and 1 will be multiplied by 3. You can think in that way also. And I think most of the students are confused in the division of fraction. यस्तो concept आउँदा बित्तिकै धेरै स्टुडेन्ट कन्फ्युज भएको देख्छु. So please write at the top of your copy. Copy को टपमा आउने पनि लेख, नआउने पनि लेख. All of you write it. Okay, write at the top of your copy. Where you find some blank space at the top. Copy को टपमा जुन खाली ठाउँ हुन्छ नि त्यसमा लेख त सबैले. A divided by B upon C. I know most of you know it. How to simplify it? A divided by B upon C, number 1. Number 2, A divided by B upon C. Number 3, A divided by B upon C divided by D. Though this is very basic thing, I know most of you know it. A divided by B upon C divided by D. So tell me, it will be AC upon B. How?
A multiply.
Here, in lower classes, you have read in this way. A upon B upon C is actually A divided by B upon C. So यस्तो हो नि हैन? A divided by B upon C on the suppose if it
Sir,
is 2
multiply
upon
गरे भने
10.
उल्टो हुन्छ.
Now if you multiply it, it will be reciprocal with the सबैलाई थाहा छ त्यो मैले सानो क्लासमा सबैले पढाएको छ त राम्रोसँग. So it will be AC upon B. Okay. So योबाट यो जानको लागि चाहिँ यो आको भन्ने बुझ्यो भने चाहिँ यो गाह्रो हुँदैन. Okay. So you can simply say it is AC upon B and be very careful कुन टर्म चाहिँ डिनोमिनेटर को हो कुन टर्म चाहिँ न्युमिनेटर को हो. ओके यसमा चाहिँ धेरै कन्फ्युजन देखाएको छ मैले स्टुडेन्टहरुले चाहिँ क्वेशन ठुलठुलो क्वेशनहरु मिलाइरा हुन्छ यस्तो सानसानो कुराहरुमा अल्झेर पुरै क्वेशन बिगाइरा हुन्छ के. सो बी क्लियर विथ दिस कन्सेप्ट. A by B divided by C. It can be written as A by B divided by C. Okay. A by B divided by C. So C को तलपट्टि केही पनि छैन. So you can write here 1 also. So तल केही पनि छैन भने तल 1 हुन्छ. You can simply write there 1. So it can be changed as A by B times 1 by C. So it will be A upon BC. You understand? So अब यो तिमीले यो जान्नु पर्यो डाइरेक्टली. अब क्लास 10 मा आएर यो गर्यो भने त अलि लाज हुन्छ. तर सिक्नको लागि त यो पनि गर्दा केही फरक पर्दैन. But you need to know, you need to be champion in this thing directly to write this directly. But you need to know the concept. यो concept यसरी आको भनेर जाने भने चाहिँ यो कहिले पनि कन्फ्युज हुँदैन. And the last one, please write it. Okay, though you know it also, please write it. बेला बेलामा रिभाइज गरिराख्ने. This can be written as A divided by A upon B divided by E upon D. So it can be written as A by B times D by C. So it will be AD upon BC. We directly divide multiply the भयो कसरी भयो भन्दा it comes from here. Okay. So please copy it. Be fast. I hope you understand this. Okay. So let me explain the concept of slope from the GeoGebra. Okay, we can have some nice illustration from GeoGebra. What actually slope is? Slope भने के हो? What are the different values of slope? Okay, so I have taken few examples from slope from GeoGebra here. Just a minute, I am going to share the whole screen for you. Otherwise, you cannot see. I think. Yeah. Is it displayed in your device or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's explain what slope actually is. I think this will not display. Yeah. So see here. Let me explain. So see here. This is a ramp, and this ramp. This is just a ramp. See here. These are just the arrow that is trying to explain here the concept of slope. This is horizontal line and this is vertical line and this is ramp. यसलाई ramp मा कसरी सम्झाउने भने ट्रकको पछाडी केही सामानहरु अनलोड गर्दाखेरि यसरी यो फल्याकहरु राखिरा हुन्छ नि हैन तलपट्टि. Otherwise you can simply understand, you can simply think of the concept of slide. Similarly slide खेल्छ नि सानोमा खेल्यो होला नि slide. You can think of this also. And how much it is tilted, okay, and it is given by slope. What is okay, sir? Okay, see here, I am making it more horizontal, okay, more plane here. एकदम झुकाइदियो भने स्लोप त हेर त 1/12 भनेको एकदम सानो हुँदो रहेछ. ओके, अझ यसको लेन्थ बढाइदिउ त अझ 1/13 1/14 जति लामो भयो त्यति स्लोप चाहिँ एकदम कम हुँदो रहेछ. Slope is very less. You don't need to copy it, just try to understand the concept what actually slope is. But if I increase its height, then its value in the numerator increases. Okay, अब जति हाइट बढ्दै गयो त्यति स्टिफ हुँदै जाँदो रहेछ. जति यसको होराइजन्टल लेन्थ बढाउँदै गयो त के हुँदो रहेछ, यो चाहिँ स्टिफ नहुँदो रहेछ. ओके, जस्तो पहाडतिरको बाटोहरु हेर्यो भने चाहिँ पहाडतिरको बाटो गर्दाखेरि के गर्नु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि यसलाई चाहिँ यसको यो होराइजन्टल पार्ट चाहिँ कम गराउनु पर्यो, भर्टिकल पार्ट चाहिँ अलि कम हुनु पर्यो. ओके, यो होराइजन्टल पार्ट चाहिँ एकदम बढी बनायो भने चाहिँ यसो यो एकदम धेरै फन्को लगाएर माथि टपमा पुगेको हुन्छ नि हैन. इफ देयर इज एनी माउन्टेन हैन, कर्भ एकदम कर्भ बनाएर माथि गयो भने चाहिँ त्यो एक्चुअली किन गरायो भने त्यो स्लोप घटाउनको लागि, त्यो स्टिफनेस घटाउनको लागि, त्यो स्टिफनेस जति हुन्छ नि त्यसलाई घटाउनको लागि चाहिँ टु डिक्रिज द स्टिफनेस अफ द रोड. ओके, सो slope is actually the vertical distance divided by the horizontal distance. Is actually भन्नुपर्दा हैन, this ramp, this is the ramp, एउटा wooden plank जस्तै हो, it is y upon x. So अब यहाँ थीटा भयो भने त यहाँ एंगल if it is theta, then it will be tan theta is equal to y upon x or perpendicular upon base 5 upon 17 in particular here. Okay, so slope कसरी आयो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यसको horizontal vertical distance लाई horizontal distance ले divide गर्यो भने that is slope actually. Okay, and later when we further dig into the concept of mathematics, it came from the concept like tan theta and y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, a lot of things are there. So let me explain it more here. Okay, this is a positive slope, and the slope can be positive, negative, zero, and undefined also. Slope नै नहुने, undefined हुने के. Slope कति हो कति, you cannot determine in some cases. So if this line is tilted in this way, then its slope is positive, and if it is tilted in this way, okay, yes, देखिरहेको छ सबैले, can you see this or not? Are you able to see this in your
Yes, sir.
So here, if this is vertical, straight vertical with the x-axis, there is no x-axis and y-axis here though. So if it is perpendicular to the x-axis, the angle is 90 degree. The angle of inclination of the line is 90 degree. Okay, so tan 90 is undefined, so its slope is undefined. And if you tilt it in this way, okay, if you tilt it in this way, if the line goes from top left to the bottom right, then it will be the line with a negative slope. Okay, because in this case, अब हामीले यसलाई अर्को वेमा इन्टरप्रेट गर्यो भने, if we interpret in this way, let me explain it mathematically. Suppose this is the angle theta. Okay, this is something greater than 90 degree. If the angle is greater than 90 degree, or let's say 120 degree, then the value of tan will be negative. Okay, suppose if it is 120 degree, theta is equal to 120 degree. Can anyone tell me what is the value of tan 120? Can anyone tell me? Okay, actually it is
Minus root 3.
Yeah, minus root 3. So the value of tan will be negative in second quadrant. In second quadrant, the value lies between 90 and 180 degree. Okay, and the value of tan is negative here. Tan is negative. I think you know the cast rule. Okay, but tan the negative हुँदो रहेछ नि त 90 बाट 180 को बीचमा. So यस्तो केसमा the value of the slope of the line will be negative. अब तिमीले यस्तो लाइन देख्दा बित्तिकै you must be aware with the fact that the slope is negative. Okay, and let me rearrange again. So the slope of this line will be 0. How? Because the angle of this line, of this particular line, will be 0. Okay, suppose this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and there is any line parallel to x-axis or overlapped with the x-axis, angle will be 0. Do you understand or not? How the angle is 0? You can take the concept from here. Suppose there is another line that is very close to x-axis. It may be 1 degree, but if you go on decreasing the angle of this line, it will be something 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, and finally when it is overlapped, the angle is 0. Okay, these two arms will make the angle 0 when they are overlapped. Or if you take some parallel lines, the line that is parallel to x-axis, at that time also the angle of the line is 0, or the angle of inclination of the line is 0. So the value of tan 0 is 0. Okay, so if any line is parallel to x-axis or any straight horizontal line has slope 0. Okay, so at what time it is undefined? When it is perpendicular to x-axis. At what time the slope of line is 0? When it is parallel to x-axis or when it is overlapped with the x-axis. And when it is positive, if the angle is acute. Okay, and when it is negative, if the angle is obtuse. You can explain the concept in that way also. So angle between two lines. This is very important derivation of the concept. If time permits me, I'll derive this formula. I think we can derive the formula. Please write along with me. We are going to derive one formula, that is the angle between two lines. Okay, please draw this figure on right side of the copy. X-axis, y-axis. Okay, x prime. I think it must be written here. Please write it somewhere near around this line. Y is equals to mx plus c. Please don't write this. I'll explain it later why I have kept it here. Just a minute. I'll just display the PowerPoint only. Okay, just write it. Just write the x-axis and y-axis. We will derive one formula, and this formula will be mostly used in this topic. Okay, x prime, y prime. This is x-axis and y-axis. Or you can simply write here origin also. Origin. The intersecting point between the x-axis and y-axis is origin. Please do it. And let me suppose there is a straight line AB. Okay. Let me suppose there is a straight line AB. Please don't write this. I'll explain it later. Please draw this line AB. And there is another straight line, that is CD. Okay. There is a straight line AB, which is in this format, and there is another straight line which is CD. They are intersected at any point here, so that I'll write the language later. Don't worry. Just make the figure at first, so that the angle of inclination of the line AB is θ1. Okay, this is supposed to be so that the angle of inclination of this line is θ1, and the angle of inclination of the line CD is θ2. Okay, the angle of the first line is θ1, angle of inclination of the first line is θ1, and the angle of inclination of the second line is θ2. Okay, we are actually going to find the angle between these two straight lines. Okay, suppose दुईटा straight lines छ भने don't draw this please. यताको साइडको फिगर बनाउने, यताको नबनाउने. The angle between these two lines. टपिक को नाम नै यहाँबाट आएको के. यो दुईटा straight line छ, यो दुईटा straight line को angle चाहिँ you are going to find. Okay, these two are the equal. यसमा त दुईटा त equal हुन्छ यो हैन. Suppose 30 degree छ भने यो पनि 30 degree नै हुन्छ. Okay, if it is 60 degree, sorry, if it is 120 degree, then it will also be 120 degree. So basically, if you talk about the angle between the two lines, there are two angles actually. One is acute angle and the other one is obtuse angle. दुईटा लाइन को बीचमा, दुईटा स्ट्रेट लाइन को बीचमा जहिले पनि दुईटा एंगल हुँदो रहेछ. एउटा acute angle हुँदो रहेछ, एउटा obtuse angle हुँदो रहेछ. But in case of right angle, it may be a bit a different case. But in general, if you talk about general straight lines, then there are two angles, but I'll suppose one angle only here. At first, angle between this line, let us suppose it is theta. Okay. Let us suppose the angle between AB and CD is theta. And the acute angle will be, sorry, obtuse angle will be 180 degree minus theta. Please make this figure. Please do it fast. Okay. Have you copied it or not? Have you drawn the figure?
Yes, sir. Already done, sir.
Okay. So let's write this also. Let AB and CD be two straight lines with equations y equals to m1x plus c1 and y is equals to m2x plus c2. We are taking the straight line in the form of slope-intercept form. So I am supposing this equation as y equals to m1x plus c1. This is the first equation. And the second equation of straight line, y equals to m2x plus c2. Please write it first. Let's suppose AB has equation y equals to m1x plus c1. This is the equation of AB and this is the equation of CD. Theta1 and theta2 be the Angle of inclination. Here, angle of inclination. You need to be clear with the concept. You cannot simply write the angle. Then you have to write theta 1 and theta 2 be the angle of inclination of straight lines AB and CD respectively. Okay. And theta be the angle between the lines AB and CD. I'm just explaining what theta 1, theta 2, theta are. Sometimes this question is asked in long question also. So please try to understand. Theta 1 and theta 2 are the angle of inclinations of AB and CD, and theta is the angle between the lines AB and CD. Please copy it first. So solve that. We are supposing this angle such that slope of AB m1 and slope of CD m2 are m1 is equals to tan theta 1 and m2 is equals to tan theta 2. Okay, we are supposing this angle in such a way that slope of AB m1 is equals to tan theta 1 and slope of CD m2 is equals to tan theta 2. I think we can cover the derivation of this formula only today. m1 is equals to tan theta 1 and m2 is equals to tan theta 2. So the next one, from the figure alongside, what you can see here is theta plus theta 2 is equals to theta 1. Okay, theta plus theta 2 is equals to theta 1. Why? Can you tell me the reason? Can anyone tell me the reason why it is why this formula is satisfied here? Theta plus theta 2 is equals to theta 1.
Exterior angle is
interior angle
is it's two opposite
opposite to interior angles. Yes.
Okay, I understand what you are trying to say, but that's not complete. Exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of opposite interior angle. Okay, this is exterior angle, and it is equals to the sum of opposite interior angles. These are two opposite interior angles, theta and theta 2. So theta plus theta 2 will be equals to theta 1. Please write the reason here. Exterior angle of a triangle is equals to sum of opposite interior angles. Okay, so theta is equals to theta 1 minus theta 2. Since our aim is to find the value of theta, हाम्रो target त के छ, theta निकाल्नु छ. So I am shifting this theta and theta 1 and theta 2 on the other side. Okay, please write it up here, and I am going to link it with slope here. Okay, मैले यसलाई slope को formula लेख्न खोजिरहेको छु. So slope will be given by tan theta. So let's take tan on both sides. Taking tan on both sides, it will be tan theta is equals to tan theta 1 minus theta 2. Okay, who will tell me the formula of tan A minus B? Is there anyone who can tell me the formula of tan A minus B?
Tan A minus tan B by 1 plus tan A tan B.
Very good. Tan A minus tan B divided by 1 plus tan A times tan B. So let's use this formula. It will be tan theta equals to tan theta 1 minus tan theta 2 upon 1 plus tan theta 1 into tan theta 2. Okay, this A and B are replaced as theta 1 and theta 2. Please copy it first. So let's replace the value. We are going to connect it with the slope. So it will be tan theta equals to m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 into m2. Okay, this is one case. Just write it first and also label it as 1, because we are going to do some more thing here. We'll be also discussing for 180 minus theta case. We'll be also discussing for the obtuse angle case. Let's derive it fast because we are running out of time. Tomorrow also I'll explain it later. Just copy it fast, okay? Also 180 degree minus theta is the angle between the lines AB and CD. AB and CD को बीचमा angle त 180 minus theta बन्छ. Okay, if it was the case, यो यतापट्टि चाहिँ 180 minus theta भएको भए चाहिँ हामीले कसरी लिन्थ्यो होला? So tan 180 minus theta equals to m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. यहाँ 180 minus theta भएको भए चाहिँ यो केसमा it would have been m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2. So minus tan theta equals to m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 times m2. I'm sorry, it is not written here m1. Let's say m1 बनाइदिउँला हैन, m1, and tan theta equals to minus m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 into m2. Okay, tan theta equals to minus m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 into m2. Please write it fast. From 1 into tan theta equals to plus minus. Okay, plus or minus को कुरा म यसलाई चाहिँ भोलि डिस्कस गर्छु म डिटेलमा. I'll discuss it in detail tomorrow. Please copy it. And this is the formula. Okay, theta equals to tan inverse plus minus m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 into m2. It is not included here. Just write m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 into m2. Theta. Actually, we are going to find the angle between the lines. So the angle between the lines is given is theta equals to tan inverse plus minus m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 into m2. Please remember this formula. Okay. I'll discuss it in detail tomorrow. Okay. Thank you everyone. Please try to understand this formula. Okay. And just see some exercise from your textbook. You can solve some question of slope, and you can also take reference for tomorrow's class also. Okay. Thank you everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.
I'll explain
Sir.
it in detail tomorrow in next class also. Okay. Bye bye.